Aquarius, Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring in your December 2025 career and money reading. All right, let's open up your energy field, Aquarius, and take a look at where you are currently at, what you are working towards, and what the upcoming month has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, we see change. All right, there is a change for the better coming your way. Embrace it. We don't often see the change if it's not a huge up-leveling type of change, but you may be recalibrating. You may be making some small adjustments, some small tweaks. I'm actually getting the word elevation here for you, Aquarius. So it feels like this month you are rising into a higher version of yourself, stepping into new levels of clarity, maybe even increasing your confidence. And that's bringing in opportunities here. Wow, you have the 10 of Cups and the Sun. This isn't just about climbing the ladder here or growing or expanding a business. This is about lifting your energy. It's about expanding your mindset here, or your standards, so that your external world can rise with you. Think of it like stepping onto a higher platform. When you step onto that higher platform, you're able to see more clearly, you're able to think more clearly, you're able to choose more powerfully. That's the energy that I'm picking up on here for you. All right, so some of you you're starting to crave more meaningful work. Instead of just doing the tasks to get you by or that need to be done in your work or your career, you have the 10 of Cups here. So this is connecting on a larger role, or connecting in a position where you feel like you're helping or impacting more people. You may have naturally outgrown an old role or an old habit, maybe even a pattern that you have been playing out. And that's why you are elevating here, expanding your consciousness, because change, it says sometimes to see the change, you must be the change. It starts with that elevation, that awareness that you're craving something more. You may even, feel called to take yourself more seriously, because it feels like you want to level up your skills. You want to expand your impact here. That's that 10 of Cups. I really see you expanding here through your own gifts, through your skill sets. You are ready for more. Aquarius, you are ready for more respect, more money, more alignment, more purpose. That's what's changing here. Now you have take action. You have the clover, the 4-leaf clover here, and you have money manager. So take action here is all about you going for it, right? This is about expansion here. So whatever your question is, this is your green light. This is your permission slip. Not that you need a permission slip, but this is your sign from the universe saying, go for it here. If there have been fears that have been holding you back, or patterns, perhaps fears telling you that you don't have what it takes. Maybe this is imposter syndrome, procrastination, whatever limitations that have built up in your nervous system, Spirit is saying push through them, because elevation is a shift within you, right? Before it becomes a shift around you. So that's what you are looking at right now. If you've been feeling a bit restless or on the verge or on the edge of something great, this is saying launch, right? You're getting ready. You're preparing to launch. You're outgrowing perhaps people or environments or expectations that no longer align with what you are wanting to expand, that vision of yours. I'm just looking to see if we have the 2 of Wands out here. Okay, I do not see. Oh, we have the 3 of Wands. Beautiful. So the 2 of Wands is that choice point, and the 3 of Wands is saying, okay, I'm choosing to expand my vision. So that actually makes perfect sense coming through. Now, the clover is all about luck, right? But I believe we create our own luck by the choices, by the beliefs, the values that we make, the action steps that we take. So this is about you taking a risk. This is about you, gambling here in some way. I feel like it's a calculated risk. It doesn't feel like it's foolish, but Spirit is saying, take a chance on yourself. What do you have to lose here? And some of you, there's some underlying energies of, well, I have a lot to lose, Mel. I could put a lot of my energy or my time into this, but what if it flops, right? But what if it's one of the most profound things that you ever create, that you ever build in your life? Yes, it may feel a bit risky, but it may surprise you in how aligned, how beautiful this feels and how it continues to grow and evolve and to help other people. So I definitely see that you are craving a challenge, but you're also craving peace, right? You're craving peace. You want there to be this enjoyable factor when it comes to your work as well, but your intuition keeps nudging you. I see that here. It's like your intuition here is nudging you towards something bigger. But because the sun is showing up as a block, sometimes the ego can come in and say, sit down, right? We don't want to expand because that's risky business here. But your intuition is saying, wait a second. Yes, we do. I just did a Soul Saturday session last weekend, if you didn't catch it, where I talked about the nervous system being hardwired for comfort. And our soul is hardwired for growth. So we often sit in the comfort zone, and sometimes the comfort zone, it starts to get uncomfortable, or it starts to kind of push up against the soul's growth. And then we are on the cusp of transformation. But because our comfort zone has been conditioned, sometimes the nervous system kicks in. And if there is any feeling of instability here, right? Then those fears, those beliefs start to kick in. But I see that you're turning the wheel here. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Wheel of Fortune in your January career reading, because it feels like you're stepping into this new cycle, especially around your birthday, Aquarius. For those of you sun sign Aquarians, there's a surprise here on the other side of this action step. There is a surprise when you grow, when you start to get clear. You are definitely rising your energy here, even if your career hasn't caught up yet, right? Because when elevation starts, you're going to feel it in your spirit before you see it in your job. And that's where many of you are at. You're like, okay, my energy is rising, but I don't see it necessarily in my outer world. That's where that Three of Wands comes in. Now you have Money Manager here. So this card is indicating that your energy, your finances could take a giant leap forward. Consider careers in money management, banking, accounting, or anything in finance. Now another message coming through here is, end of the year. Perhaps financial structures, connecting with, institutions here, maybe doing some filing, compartmentalizing, taking a look at graphs, taking a look at budgets. You may be looking at, end of the year deadlines, things that need to get done. So I feel like you are busy this month, but I also see that you have a lot of ideas that are flowing through, that are coursing through your veins, right? Your soul energy here this month. So you can expect a happy outcome when it comes to your finances. And I'm hearing taxes. So some of you, it feels like your tax bracket, or perhaps something that you have been maybe fearing or questioning, it actually feels like there's a happy outcome, maybe when it comes to taxes, or if you have had some sort of legal situation, or maybe there's been the selling or purchase of a home. It just feels like there's something that you don't realize it actually plays out in your favor, or it helps you. And if you are a business owner, it feels like you're starting to look at maybe some receipts or some tax write-offs. It feels like you're getting organized, you're preparing, so you don't have to deal with everything as much, stepping into the new year. Yes, you'll still have some things to take care of, but I really feel like you're getting a good grasp, a good handle on your money, and making some tweaks and adjustments at this time. This could even be refinancing or taking a look at healthcare plans or insurance insurance rates. You may be looking at service providers that maybe could use a good tweaking if you haven't changed your car insurance for a few years. It could be well past the due date. You could get a better deal elsewhere. It feels like you are being mindful here about your finances and saying, how can I make my money work for me? I also am getting here, you potentially stepping into a new role. There could even be a promotion coming in here because your first card out is the 10 of Cups. Now it feels like there is a energetic alignment taking place that's actually pushing you into leadership. It feels like even if you are not the title of, supervisor or leadership, it feels like there's a group effort here with this 10 of Cups, but it also means that it's important that you voice your opinion or say what you need to say or to kind of delegate here in order to make things a little more smooth, right? In order to bring more peace, even if it feels uncomfortable to step up into this type of leadership role. And some of you may even be going for an elevated position here. So this could be a higher position here with higher pay. I do see that something is coming through that's going to help your family. This is a divine blessing and it's bringing in lasting happiness and success. And if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, you could have a new target market, a new clientele base, or again, a new client or even mentor, someone that you're working with where you build a long-lasting relationship and it feels more like family, but there is a reciprocal exchange that's happening between you and them, whomever them may be. And so the 10 of Cups says you want to feel satisfied, right? You want to feel like your work brings you joy. You want to feel connected on a deeper level. You want to work with a community. And I see that you are being recognized here. You are being appreciated. You're being seen. So Spirit is guiding you with the sun as your challenge, as your block, to drop the old self-doubt and to step into authority or to step into making choices that feel more aligned with your soul's calling. Remember, the soul is hardwired for growth. So don't let the nervous system or the comfort zone keep you kind of at that lower frequency because your soul has already started to evolve, but sometimes the external doesn't always match that because of the doubt or we fear stepping into greater success. And I see that you're raising your standards here, right? Raising your standards, meaning you're not going to settle for less than you deserve. You're saying yes to opportunities that once felt too small. This is about you raising your prices if you are a business owner. Perhaps you are looking at boundaries here. I'm getting contractual agreements. Maybe you're updating some contracts here. This could even be like a clause of some sort. And you may be wanting to go for that promotion because you've been putting in such hard work or long hours that you deserve to be recognized. So I see you really shifting in this kind of rise above moment this month, both internally and externally. And that's why the sun is here, because your hard work creates, it literally says, hard work creates good luck. And what I'm getting for you though, because this is showing up as a blockage, some of you may feel like hard work is the only way to be successful. So for example, our parents, our grandparents have maybe worked on a farm, or maybe they worked long hours, 80-hour work weeks, and basically kind of disconnected at times from family because they were working so much to provide. There may be a built-in belief system that you have that says, I have to work even if that means I'm compromising in some way or I am selling my soul. And that's what's being challenged, because there's a part of you that's saying, wait a second, what am I doing here? What is truly important? Because the sun is the most abundant energy in tarot. And when the sun shows up, this is about your confidence, your vitality, what lights you up, what brings in the sense of playfulness and warmth and success and happiness and joy. Is that what you're feeling? If not, this is that, expansion that's happening, this elevation with that 10 of Cups. So what's your money mindset? The beaver has actually been coming up for everybody lately, and I love the message of the beaver. And perhaps you've heard me share this story before, but I love to paddleboard. So the summers here in Wisconsin, even springtime and even into fall, depending on the temps, I love to get out on the paddleboard. I sit on it, I stand on it, I take it, on the lake that actually flows into a river, and I was able to bond, or I think it's bonding, but I was able to get up close and personal with a beaver family over the summer. And I was really able to observe their behavior from a distance, where I felt like I wasn't getting all up in their space, but it was just beautiful to witness these beautiful nature architects at work. And it was a mama that I connected with and her 3 kids, her 3 babies. And I had discovered about a week prior to meeting this family that the father or the male beaver had died on the side of the river. I had witnessed that. And so I did a lot of research through learning, through looking it up online about how they work together, how they build, how they create, how they teach and raise their young. The male energy is actually very prominent when it comes to teaching the young how to hunt, how to swim, how to forage, and how to basically grow and level up, right? Elevate. And with it missing, maybe some of you feel like there's a missing component, or perhaps you're doing it all on your own as a single parent, just like the mama beaver that I had kind of befriended. And I was able to witness her nursing her young. How incredible is that? That's not something you see every day, as a wild beaver nursing her young and, watching them grow and evolve. And I see that you're continuing to build. So point of the story here, your money mindset is saying, even if you don't have some sort of partnership, maybe this is in your personal life. As I've mentioned, maybe you're a single parent. You've had to take care of your children. You've had to do something on your own. It feels like your money mindset here is saying it's time to dream a bit bigger, because oftentimes when we get into a responsible role, especially caregiving or trying to build up a career, we focus so heavily on all of the tasks at home that we forget that we can have fun, that we can continue to birth new ideas and put them out there. So for some of you, perhaps you've been so busy trying to build that you have lost sight of joy and family, because you've been trying to teach, you've been trying to learn, you've been trying to, be the best that you could be in this specific role. But I see here that there is a potential partnership here with that 10 of Cups, or a connection here that you are building with others, a community, networking, collaborating, co-creating, where it doesn't feel like you are doing it all on your own, because that's been heavy weighing on you. So when it comes to a belief or an attitude, I see that no matter what you've gone through, even if you feel like you've had this missing link, right? Just like the dad, the masculine energy in that scenario, it feels like you're coming into balance here, bringing that masculine and feminine into the mix, and you're continuing to build your financial structure here. You're continuing to make a difference in the world through your work. And if you are a caregiver, I see that you have felt exhausted at times taking care of others, but it feels like 2026, you are starting to kind of rein that energy in a bit and say, okay, am I giving back just as much, if not more, to myself? it's time for me to take care of me, because perhaps what you have started to cultivate, right? What you've given birth to, maybe it's starting to grow to a point where you're able to have a little bit more flexibility is what I'm getting. You're able to expand here the way that you're moving around. You're able to expand and elevate. So what is the opportunity here for income growth? You have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is all about seeing the truth, seeing the truth. If you feel like you haven't been able to grow because there's been such an overwhelming responsibility, or you've been trying to build, but it just feels like it's been hard to build on your own, or hard to build because of maybe even a belief system that you have witnessed, you have been conditioned here, or, a pattern. It could be self-sabotaging. Maybe you've been procrastinating here, but this literally is connected to like Eat, Pray, Love. If you've ever watched that movie with Julia Roberts, read the book, Elizabeth Gilbert, basically, she knows that there's something missing in her life. She wants to bring in that joy. She wants to be able to eat and have it feel good. She wants to be able to connect and really feel the presence of friendship and family and love. And something is missing in her life, and she doesn't always know, she doesn't know what it is, but she's in search of it. Now, I know not everybody can quit their job and go travel to Bali, as I always say, but I feel like what you can do is elevate from the inside out. So the Eight of Cups is saying we're not going to escape, right? We're not going to fill that void, just like that masculine energy of the beaver. We're not going to fill that with something that's not sustainable, something that numbs or avoids or checks out. But what can we do here to continue growing? Because this is personal growth. This is discovery. It's independence. This is the quest for something deeper, something more meaningful. There is a new path ahead here for you. So upgrade your self-talk, upgrade how you speak about your work, clean up your energy here. You're releasing guilt, releasing fear, or even imposter syndrome. That could be all connected here to that conditioning. And I see here with the Five of Cups, this is the unexpected financial influence. These are the hidden factors. And again, it feels like there's been some old guilt or old fears that are popping up that kind of steal your sunshine. Aquarius, stretch yourself, learn something new, refine something old, show up as the version of you that already has what you want. Because the Five of Cups sometimes focuses on, the disappointment, the past energy here. But what I see is there's past pain receding, new hope is emerging. This is you choosing environments that nourish your growth. This is you practicing courage in small ways and saying no to anything that drags your energy down. So the manatee here, the big gentle cow, such powerful creatures, they are representing here, again, elevation. It's coming from alignment. It's coming from alignment plus action. That's what's going to elevate you. And sometimes, they're not the fastest, right? So perhaps something has felt a bit slower for you. Maybe it's taken a little bit of time, but they hold a big presence, a big energy. And Spirit is reminding you that you are evolving. You are waking up to your truth, to your potential. And so elevation is big. And what version of you are you growing into? Because you have the Six of Cups here as your action step. So Six of Cups is your inner child, healing the inner child, or letting the inner child come out and play to bring that magical touch. There could even be a past project that is coming back around, and you may be saying, is this something that brings me joy? Do I want to wrap this up here? Or it could be a childhood dream that you've always wanted to do, right? What habits are keeping you at the same level? Because this is maybe a past version of you. Where are you being called to rise? What new standards are you ready to set for yourself, Aquarius? And what would the elevated version of you, what would that elevated version stop doing immediately? I want you to ask yourself that, because the elevated version of you is confidently saying yes to whatever it is that sparks your inner child, that joy, that magic. That's what you are being guided to say yes to. This could be a reunion, perhaps with someone of your past, or again, just an energy of the past, kind of bringing back that enthusiasm, bringing back that inspiration, because I'm also getting a message here of loving what you do, but some of you may have felt like you've lost that spark, right? Going back to the beaver family, mama beaver, daddy beaver just had these beautiful babies and they're growing, they're enjoying life and things are good. And she's feeling great with everything, feeling good with her purpose and birthing new creation into the world. And then boom, something happens where Daddy Beaver no longer in the picture, right? And so that leaves her scrambling. It leaves her mindset falling into the nervous system here of instability. I got to do this on my own, or there's a crack in the foundation, or I no longer love this. It's not as joyful. I got to just do it to survive. And I'm not really thriving here. I'm surviving. So that's what's shifting here for you. So whatever has kind of shaken up your world, and this can go back, right? Back into childhood even, something that may have kind of shaken you up. I often say that some of our career blocks, our money blocks, they're not adult problems, right? They are root chakra, base chakra, echoes, right, from the past that are showing up as adults that could contribute to stealing the sunshine. But you have this powerful energy here of elevation, rising up. Now your outcome is the Three of Wands, the rooster. You know when a rooster is present because he's loud. The early bird gets the worm here. He's right up at the crack of dawn. This is an energy of rise and shine. And I love that this is coming through with the sun because it is your time to rise. It is your time to shine here. And this is about that foresight, being able to step up on that platform. And oftentimes roosters, they'll jump up on anything here and they make their presence known. And that's what I see here for you, Aquarius. It's like your presence is known, but it's slow and steady. So something here is happening for you, even if it's been at a bit of a slower pace, just like that gentle, sea cow, the manatee there. But I see that you are making a difference. You are growing, learning, elevating. And the Three of Wands is success. It's a move away and you are stepping into that by, again, inner and outer elevation taking place. Don't get lost in the planning. Don't get lost in the procrastination, right? Don't get lost in the overwhelm or hesitating because that's going to steal your thunder here. You are meant to rise. You have entry level. Now, entry level could mean that you are being guided to get back to that beginner's mindset, especially with that Six of Cups. What is it that lights you up? What brings you joy? Is it time to enhance a skill set or maybe to learn a new skill or a new craft? So entry level can be the beginning. And some of you may even enjoy maybe rollerblading, ice skating. Some of you are saying, Mel, I have not done that for years. I'm not going to do that. I might break a hip, but I feel like you are moving here or being guided to move. Now, you don't have to go out there and get on blades or skates, but I do feel like you're being asked to not only, move your body, but the mind, expand the mind here. So again, back to the beginner's mindset here. Now, there may even be a benefit of bringing some new people on board, onboarding people who you can kind of delegate here to that can help maybe take some of the weight off your shoulders. Now, some of you, this is going to be, it could be like an apprentice or someone who shows up, they're learning, but it's beneficial for them. Maybe even a college student or working with someone who wants the experience. So it feels like there's an entry level door opening up for someone here. There may be some unexpected expenses, especially like doctor bills, or it could be vet bills. But I see that this also connects to taking a look at any sort of insurance plans. Maybe you have a really high premium or deductible, or amount that you're paying each month. You may be wanting to adjust this. You could be looking at your car insurance. I mentioned all of these things, but I feel like by taking a look at some things now, it could benefit you, because everything seems to be rising, going up, cost of living, there's changes in the world. So it feels like by doing your due diligence and by researching yourself and kind of taking a look at what may be more beneficial, it could help you in the long run because you have saving money here. So it doesn't feel like there's an unexpected bill per se. I mean, there could certainly be a little bit more maybe on your credit cards or that you're spending due to the holiday. But I see that you may also be paying off some sort of loan or something that maybe you've budgeted for. Perhaps you've been stocking money away throughout the year for the holiday season, or you have decided to maybe travel or take a trip. I see some of you traveling, flying. This could also be like real estate that you're being called to explore, or it could be working with people all around the globe, all around the world. That 10 of Cups is an expansive energy of loving what you're doing, helping others, collaborating. So I see that that is a possibility as well. All right, Aquarius, let's get a message here from the wisdom of the Oracle. I just heard I think it's the name Solomon. Isn't that a Bible name, Solomon? I'm not quite sure, but that's coming up. I don't know if it's a place. I'm not even sure what it means, maybe in a different language. Is that like Hebrew? So if that's your name or if that connects with you in some way, let me know. Drop it in the comment section below, Solomon. Now you have number 18, Serendipity, and this is the 4-leaf clover. I mean, how serendipitous is this? It is number 18. Some of you may be born on the 18th. 18 also coincides with the moon. And the moon is all about our intuition. And sometimes our intuition is blocked or masked by the subconscious, which I was talking to you about. That subconscious, the nervous system, can be wired for if you've grown up in some sort of instability here or any sort of conditioning where you felt like your basic needs or your trust or your survival, connected to the root chakra, if that was inconsistent in some way, that's where some of these blocks, these money blocks, are coming from. So you may want to dive into that if you haven't already. But I see you elevating. So it tells me you have been doing the work here. Opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck, and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. You are in the right place at the right time. Be grateful, for the stars are aligned in your favor and fortune is smiling on you. Victory and success are yours. The choices you have made in the past, okay, so that could be connected to that past energy here with the 6 of Cups. The choices you have made in the past have prepared you for the opportunities now before you. This is your lucky moment. The timing is perfect. The timing is perfect here. So that is really connected beautifully with that 4-leaf clover. The 18th of December could also be a very important day. It could be an aha day. You might want to circle that on the calendar. Maybe it's a day that you already have like a big interview, or it could be some sort of meeting. I feel like that is a favorable day here. And also connected to January 18th as well. So continuing to build, even if that missing factor has contributed in some way, you are ready to kind of move on here from the old. So lastly here, let's get a message from your spirit animal guides. And if you can safely do so, Aquarius, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep belly breath in from your solar plexus chakra. Inhale through your nose. Hold it for the count of 3, 2, 1, and release through your mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky or swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, domesticated, mystical, or magical. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that's visited through your dreams, maybe a pet that you currently have at your home, or an animal that's recently crossed your path in the great outdoors. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animal in the comment section below the video. And I personally will enter you into that free reading giveaway. So be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. We have here the diving beetle. The diving beetle is all about creativity. It says slow movement here because when you hit water, I mean, yes, you can swim really fast underwater, but it feels like emotions at times tend to kind of slow us down, or they can speed us up. Think of the chariot. The chariot is ruled by Cancer, a water sign, and that's our emotional drive. So sometimes our emotions can keep us stuck, but sometimes our emotions are the catalyst. They are the motivating factor that moves us towards our goals. So pay attention to what your emotions are guiding you towards at this time. This is creativity. Now you have snakes. This is fertility, birth, and health. You see that these are baby snakes here, giving birth to something, watching it grow, continuing to evolve. And that's the message earlier with the baby beavers. You know, after watching them all summer, they were able to swim better, and they were able to forage and eat on their own. And it was really beautiful watching the transformation take place. And they started to take on little personalities of their own as well. So I feel like you are elevating your awareness to take something to the next level here. So you are undergoing a personal rebirthing process here, and health could be a factor. Some of you are in the health and wellness industry, or you are being called to elevate here into higher consciousness because your body is calling for it. And we mentioned movement earlier, like moving, stretching the body also helps you expand your level of awareness. By moving the body, it's a direct link and connection to your brain, and you're able to fire up some of those brain momentum here, brain movements that can help you in your career, in your business. You have imagination. Look at how fun he is showing up here. 6 of Cups, inner child, right? This is inspiration and creativity once again. So allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to take your inner child out and have some fun this month. You know, play, create, and get ready to step into one of the best chapters of your life. I feel like this next trip around the sun is a big one. It feels like you are doing things that really light you up. You're having fun doing it as well. You're connecting with other individuals that want to share in. They want to have fun. So if you felt like you've been stuck where you haven't had support, or you feel like you've just been in healing mode or like building mode, it doesn't mean you're not doing those things, but it's important here to have fun and to remember your why, remember your purpose as well. Even though I see that, yes, you're taking yourself seriously, you're adding that creative spin. And I feel like that is bringing alignment and balance back into the mix, which is allowing you to elevate. Next, we have the Martin. This is fortunate tidings. Again, the word fortune, you have that four-leaf clover twice. The Martin here represents camaraderie and it's connected to the crown chakra. So we talked about the base, also known as the root chakra, which is formulated in our early years between the ages of 0 and 7. But we have here now the crown chakra, which is elevation. It's opening up spiritual wisdom. It is, focusing on that path of alignment and choosing healthier options that bring joy and pleasure back into our lives instead of just feeling like we are constantly again in that builder mode. You're still in it, but you can have fun. You can have fun with what you're creating instead of just being the teacher, the healer, the educator. Now it's time to bring in all of the pieces. That's what that 10 of Cups is reminding you. That is what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.